Greetings, Twitter, round two. I'm re-recording this because for some reason they're not showing up on my Twitter. But the second topic that I wanted to discuss today is relatively one that's been well known for now for some time. There was last year, shortly after, actually not last year, but shortly after the election of 2020, Dominion Voting filed a lawsuit against Fox News for slander, I think it was, and it is now going to trial. And in this trial, they have had Rupert Murdoch, president of Fox News, I believe he's president of Fox News, testify in court. Now, Rupert Murdoch has basically thrown all his commentators under and news hosts, thrown them under the bus, as it were, because he's saying that they've all, even knowing that what they were talking about was lies with respect to the election fraud, they continue to promote it, on the network. If I could just say, this is bringing Fox News' credibility down a whole shot. Now, this is only part of what I was wanting to talk about. I was debating whether or not to split this into two topics, but I'm going to try to bridge this into one and try not to take too long because I don't want to bore you with going on with it. But basically, Fox News' reputation right now is shot, given the testimony that was released. And on top of that, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy has released access to the January 6th footage, which is about 44,000 hours, last I heard, to one of Fox News' hosts, and that is Tucker Carlson. There was a hubbub about it because they were saying, how can you let him have it, given their bias, given their credibility right now? Tucker is going to jeopardize the security of the Capitol if he shows the wrong footage. He's going to, because some of this footage is classified. Does he have classified access? And it just opened up a whole can of worms. So now, the Speaker of the House came out this afternoon and said, okay, well, it's a controlled release. He can view it all. He can't record anything. Whatever clips he wants, he can ask us for it, and once we reviewed them, we'll release them to him if there's nothing classified on them. So now, the Speaker of the House is basically changing his tune just a little bit. I mean, he's not denying Tucker the access, but he's now saying that it's a controlled situation. I don't know how accurate that is. I'll leave that to Speaker McCarthy and the U.S. House on that. But suffice it to say, Tucker Carlson is the one that has got first pick on all this footage. And in all honesty, I think that this is not the wisest thing for Kevin McCarthy to do, nor is it the wisest thing for Tucker Carlson to attempt to do, given the scenario that is ongoing at Fox News Network. Their reputation right now is very, very, very grim, given the testimony. And if Speaker of the House McCarthy decides to go that route, in the end, his credibility as Speaker of the House may risk dropping, so that he may get investigated for what he's doing. And it will look, not only that, it will look really bad on him as Speaker of the House for doing something like that. Same thing can be said more or less to Tucker Carlson. It's not in his interest to deal with this footage at this time. If he's looking to do this to save the reputation, his reputation and that of Fox News, now is not the appropriate time to do it. Okay, because given the fact that this is classified stuff, these footage or parts of it is, it's not going to benefit the news network in as much as it will probably more than likely damage their credibility and their reputation even more. Not only that, it will make whatever is presented that much more doubtable, because you're gonna. I mean, there's already doubt being planted as to whether or not these reporters are credible. If they don't appear as 100% credible, then what they're presenting is more than likely, in the eyes of Americans, not going to be 100% factual or believable. So it's not beneficial to Tucker Carlson to start talking about or reporting on this footage at this time. I think what needs to happen, one of two things need to happen. Either Tucker Carlson puts a pause on it and says, okay, we got to wait until the heat on Fox News blows over and see what the future of Fox News is going to be. Or Speaker of the House McCarthy may need to put a pause on it himself, or and at least release the footage to the rest of the other news media, such as CNN, such as CBS, ABC News, NBC, Reuters, Associated Press, enough so that when the footage is released, there is a higher degree of credibility behind it, because you're not going to get that credibility with just using Fox News. It's not going to work. Their credibility, their reputation is subpar at this time, and unfortunately they can't go to Newsmax, they can't go to OANN, because these networks are no longer over the air, or they're no longer on cable. They're not mainstream medias anymore. They're medias that they only can report via the web, via the internet, and nothing more. In order for your case or your presentation to be credible, and I'm talking to in reference to the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. In order for your presentation of the evidence to be credible, my friend, you have to have a credible presenter. You have to have somebody with credibility presenting your case. You can't do that with Tucker Carlson. You can't do that with Fox News. And you should know that. Their credibility right now, because of the court case, is subpar at the best. And it's not going to benefit your case at all. So, this is, something that I think the Speaker of the House needs to really think about and really consider. I mean, what's going to happen if he doesn't is that eventually, somewhere along the lines, Tucker Carlson is going to get investigated by the federal government, and so would be the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, for facilitating classified information to a well-known controversial source. It would only be a matter of time. That's what I have for this topic of Fox News. I'm going to take a recess, and I'm going to momentarily, and I am going to come back on my Twitter with my third and final topic, which is going to be a local one, local being within the state of Texas. So I'll be right back in just a moment.